Hi everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. I wanted to share with you today how I've decorated some of my Traveler's Notebook inserts. I think this will be a fun little look, and I think it might encourage you to just use whatever you have on hand to decorate your Traveler's Notebooks if that's something that you like to do. Sometimes I've bought them that already have like a decorative cover, and mostly I buy the plain covers because I enjoy the process of kind of personalizing them. I've showed you this one before. This is my 2020 just sort of like daily what's going on in our lives. I went over this with Mod Podge. I like the smooth feel. It gives it overall, but there's still a couple little ragged areas it could catch. So I'm wondering if I might I'm debating, I guess, on if I'm going to go back and cover it up with like duct tape or something, because I feel like that's sturdier, but I kind of like the somewhat matte finish of the Mod Podge. So you can see how I did that. This one I especially wanted to point out because about 99% of the decor here is from my friend Vicky. She from the UK. She sent me a bunch of goodies, lots of travelers brochures and advertisements and other miscellaneous, and I used a lot of those elements to decorate this. This is number 4 of 2020, and this is going to be, again, just kind of a daily, I guess, I don't know if I'd call it a journal. I guess it's kind of a journal, just kind of basically saying what's going on. And then I have other journals for more in-depth retrospection, I guess you could call it. So anyway, getting back to this, I also covered this in the Mod Podge, but these beautiful flowers are from her. The deer, the castle or palace. Some of the wording is from some of the brochures, and she recently went to France, so there was a flyer from there every evening. I cut out that. I went back over this after I put on all the paper elements, and I added lots of gold dots and white dots and little, like a little cross kind of mark. I outlined some of the words, did a little zigzag here, outline there, stenciled the number. So this is the 4th one that I've done since starting this style. That's something I picked up from some other YouTubers that journal in this way, and I kind of like that effect, so I've done that as well. On the outside, I took my Neo colors and just added a little golden yellow all the way around. So as you can see, a lot of these things are just everyday items. So if you have like an old map, or you have some junk mail that has some words, this is from a flyer that talked about their theaters there, some things that the theater was offering. This is a napkin, what we would say in the US, or a serviette if you're from the UK. Just the outer layer of a pretty napkin. So I glued that on, and you can see the white lettering, not white lettering, but the white outline. I used a special pen for that. Did the same thing on the back. I think this is so beautiful. And then some of these little decals I just got at the dollar store, and I put that on there to break up some of the big spaces. Absolutely brilliant. This is another thing from her. And then even this, you've won one prize, so it's in French. So that was from their France trip, I believe. Anyway, I just love the collage effect. Even when I was in junior high and high school, I'd make collages for people. Very similar to this, so it's really fun that has come back to being a thing. So think of what you have at home. Junk mail, scrapbooking paper, bits and pieces, an old book or magazine. I mean, any kind of elements like that you can use. And Mod Podge it, or cover it with duct tape when you're done. This is the craft paper, as you can see, insert from Amazon. So I think you get 3 for, it was like less than $10. And this peony here, I folded over, and just kind of like that little effect of the flower folding into the back cover. So Vicki, thank you for all those really cute and fun things. I'm still using them, but I took a ton of different elements from what you sent me to decorate my next everyday journal. So let's put that back. I kind of have it waiting in line here. I'm almost done with this one. I have just a couple pages. That was my last one, my daughter's birthday. One of my daughter's birthdays. And I think I showed you this book I got on Amazon. It was bigger. I had it cut down to a traveler's notebook size and added this sticker from Robin. She used to be Art Journal Girl. I think that's hers. I say used to be because I don't think she's on YouTube anymore, but she had a lot of fun ideas and was very artistic too, and I got some of these decorating ideas from her. I mentioned this too. Why on earth this thing won't like stay flat so that the word is showing, I don't know. It's like it's just, no matter how I lay it, it always goes the other way. There must be some trick. And I can see I could flip that around, but for some reason, even when I flip it, it doesn't want to lie the right way. This is my most recent Elan from Sojourner, and I still just love to touch it. It feels so good, and it's just such a nice size. This is the B6 Slim. It really feels comfortable to me. I also love the standard size. Had I been aware of this size before I embarked on the Traveler's Notebook adventure like 4 years ago, I may have done the B6 Slim. I'm not sure. I won't commit to that 100%, but it's definitely a toss-up. I enjoy both sizes, but this being a little shorter is a real comfortable size. So I bought this, as I said, to just write some memories and thoughts to my family. I have not started that yet. We've had a couple busy weeks. We have 3 April birthdays, and my daughter just got engaged, so now we're talking weddings. And anyway, so I haven't had time to sit down and focus on journaling in this manner, but I want to. This is the Cafe, Nanami's Cafe Note. It's a smaller grid. Somebody pointed that out to me in the comments that they don't care for that really small grid, and I see exactly what she means. So I may not go with that again, but I definitely like the feel of the journal and the size. It's a little bit thicker than your basic traveler's notebook, but it fits wonderfully in this B6 Slim folio from Sojourner USA. What I wanted to point out was this little thing I made. This doesn't have a pen loop. Doesn't come with one, and I didn't really think about that, and it's fine, but I do enjoy having the attached pen loop like here and like I have here on my Speckled Fawns Rustic Kodiak. I like carrying around the pen with me, and I have a few favorite kinds that I like to use and have with me. So I made this little flap thing. It was going to be a folder, and I didn't really like how it turned out because I did some darker stitching there. I felt like that kind of ruined the look of that paper. Although I liked the green, I didn't like the bobbin thread I had in there. So I decided to cover part of this with this beautiful fabric. I love this. I had bought it to make some surgical caps for the hospital where my daughter works. Her floor was I don't know if they were accepting, but my daughter took the initiative to say, hey, if you guys want to make surgical caps. Her mother-in-law had also done that, and they really enjoyed having something to boost morale during this whole COVID thing. So we couldn't make masks, but we were allowed to make surgical caps. Another whole tangent I'm getting off on. That's where I got this fabric. You don't need to know my whole life story just for me to tell you that I think this fabric's pretty. But that's the background. That's why I have it, and I had a ton left over, so I made this. I decided to make it into an insert. It does have a pocket under here I just covered, but what I did was I took some elastic, I glued it on. It's pretty thick. I didn't sew it on because my machine was out of thread and I didn't want to stop and mess with that, so I just glued it on with this Tombow Mono liquid glue. It's got like 10 names. I really like that glue. Anyway, and so I covered this part with the idea that this would insert here, and basically, I mean, I could go back and cover up the yellow birds. They're kind of cute, but mainly it doesn't show. So let me take this pen out. So what I would do is just insert my pen there, so when I do get to journaling, I'm hoping to sit out on the deck or go somewhere. It's a little bit loose. It could be tighter. but I can also hook a second pen on, which is what I do on this one. I hope you can see. I like to carry a couple with me. So that's another thought. You could do something like that if you need a pen loop and your TN doesn't come with one, or you want to try out a pen loop before maybe you purchase one in the future that has one already. Maybe do something like that. And you know, this just like cost nothing. Someone gave me the elastic, I had the paper on hand, and they had already bought the fabric. So this is going to be a good trial thing to see if that works. Like I said, maybe it needs to be smaller, but that's another little way you can make a little decoration for your traveler's notebook. A friend of mine, Debbie, she does traveler's notebooks as well, and we're giving each other a weekly challenge, and her challenge this week was to make a dashboard or some kind of folded scrapbook paper thing for your journal. And so I made this. And hello, Debbie, if you're watching. Lastly, I think there was one other thing that I did for our challenge, and I don't remember where it is. I'm going to sneeze at any moment. I can feel it coming on. I have my door open, and the allergies are crazy. This is also another decorated standard size TN that I did for sermons. I think I may have briefly shown this in another video. I added a few more elements. I added the cutout leaf from scrapbook paper, and I decided to go ahead and do the back. This moth is from our state nature magazine. I put on this Purple Heart stamp that was just on some mail. This is some cardstock, stickers from, well, let me show you. It's from this set, Faith. Me and My Big Ideas. We have a lot of neat stickers in there for faith journaling or just motivational type encouraging little stickers. Anyway, so that's from there. He restoreth my soul. And then this is wrapping paper. This is from this really neat duct tape that came with the leather tote I bought. I was going to show you a bigger piece. It came like this, Growly Leather Company, on the box where I got my tote recently. They wrapped it in this really neat paper. So it's not paper, it's like a packaging tape. I cut out some of that and put it there because I like their company. I like what they stand for and that they're a home business, family business. Got little scraps here or something. Anyway, so there you go. These are just a lot of different elements. This is from a Bible journaling kit by the Well for God, I believe. Did that one. So just take what you have. I like to add the little dots. Sometimes I'll outline it or do a zigzag. Take whatever pen, pencil, whatever you have on hand, and add some dimension with dots. But that's what I like to do. This one is a little less full than, say, where's the one? Sorry. My first one here. It was over in the other book. Sometimes I really do them quite full. Sometimes I prefer a simpler design. Just depends on what I'm doing. And I need to draw in antenna. The poor moth lost his antenna when I was cutting it out. I want to just recommend a couple pens to you real quick. This is the Pilot G210. It's a gel pen. I like the 10. It's a wider, bolder flow of ink, which I prefer to a real fine. And then I have the Posca paint pens by Uni, which are great. I have used those to add like the white elements that you can see here, those little dots. Or like here I outlined. No, I didn't outline the cat. He's just outlined. But I do outline things in white. Let's see, I did this flower here, outlined in white. And they're really good. I've liked those, but then somebody talked about this pen. This is also by Uniball, Signo. Got these online, Amazon. This is a white ink. I'll try to show you here. Does that show up? Yeah, it looks like it might. So what I like about, what I prefer over this is just like an ink pen, but it writes, there's a tongue twister for you. It writes white, and the flow, it's catching a little bit. Generally, this is cardstock. If I'm writing on any of my journals or doing these covers, I'm not having trouble with it at all. It will flow real easily. These are more of a paint pen, so, and they come in a pack of 3. Sometimes you have to kind of get the ink going a little bit first. And it's got more of that felt tip to it. But once you get it going, it's not showing up well on the yellow. Once you get it going, it works really well. But I would say to test it out on paper before you start writing on the surface. I have a third one somewhere. I'm looking in my pens here off to the side. I hate to blame people in my house, but I lent one out to somebody and I don't think I got it back. So anyway, let's look at this one. This is a finer tip. I think there's a middle of the road one. Those work really well too. They're both the same company. But generally I prefer this. I can carry it with me. It's become my companion here. So I'll put in the white pen and my Pilot G210 in there. The one inserts in the band or the loop. The other I just keep on the side. And the reason I like both of those right now is because I chose to use that craft paper for my journals. You can use any kind of pen on it, but I'm liking how the white will pop there. And so I use that often. I'll show you just quickly when I'm doing some journaling. Well, there you can see how well it shows up on the craft paper. And let's see, what did I want to point out? I'm all everywhere today in my thoughts. I haven't started this one yet. Did a lot of outlining here, again with that same white pen. I'll just show you. And then I did the lettering there. So, and this one, I don't know if I said, I covered with Mod Podge 2. This is a napkin or serviette. It's a little bit rough. I should have Mod Podged it first instead of just going over it. I'm not sure these elements are all going to stay, so I might tape back over that. Oh, here, this is my other Bible challenge thing. Just take from my friend Debbie, it was to take scrapbooking paper or make a dashboard or decorations. So I took this piece of scrapbook paper that I already had on hand from a set that really, a pad that's almost gone. I've used up all my favorites, but I still had this one. And I like this. I just think it adds a little bit of bright color. I didn't make it wide enough to go around. Well, actually, it could go around these, but they're already decorated. So I didn't think they needed a dashboard. I like opening them and seeing that. I think that's really fun. So I just added it for some color. I've thought about making some pockets in here, but I don't necessarily need that because this TN comes with pockets and this book is inserted in the pocket here. But it adds a little splash of color. Might be a good place to attach some sticky notes. I like to carry those along too. So there's a little bit of rambling and a little bit of this and that, but I mostly just wanted to show you the decorated Traveler's Notebook inserts and some of the accents that I made for my TNs. You know, it's something if you're feeling creative and you want to make something, maybe you don't have a whole lot of time, you might have fun just decorating one of your covers, adding to decoration that's already there, or making a little pop of color dashboard or insert just for decorative purposes, just to be creative. So that's all. I will see you again next time. Take care. Bye.